lot, but it's like, it's a part of me, I don't want to say I don't care, but it's like a part of me is just like, y'all already tried to hurt me. So like, what do you want me to feel now? Like, okay, I changed the rule, I'm happy, but like, some part of it still hurts that I got to be embarrassed online just for a rule to be changed that everybody obviously knew was discriminatory for it to even have been brought up in those meetings in the first place. All my teammates, especially the ones that helped pull out the beads and like, cut my hair, I mean, we need to be apologized to, because I couldn't imagine like how my senior friends felt when it's like, when we thought this was gonna be our last game, that I had to cut out my sister's hair because we're winning.
We're uniquely impacted because there's a historical context here, right? Because of white supremacy, our features, particularly as Black women with kinky hair and different types of hair, we were positioned in opposition to white womanhood with the blue eyes and the blonde hair that, flows in the wind. And so our hair has been depicted through various images and been made fun of. And rules and policies have been made against, how we style our hair. Like it's almost like an armor that us Black girls have to wear. And that armor is heavy. And what hasn't traditionally been talked about is how do we disarm white children? And education is one of the ways that we can do that. What would it look like to address the person causing the harm?
We changed our hair rule, but what about our livelihood? That's still not changed. Just protect Black people in general.
So with Nicole, it's about you should not have had to endure any of this, but let's get this story in the hands of the right people, because it's really those stories that impact lawmakers all the time. There's so much legislation that really was inspired by a very specific event, a very specific person, a very specific issue that showed you a gap in a statute, or the fact that you don't even address this issue in a statute. Before becoming a state senator, I've been working on the Crown Act and really the Crown Act movement for about 4 years now, under the direction of Ajwa Asmoa and all the other phenomenal men and women who led this legislation forward at the congressional level. So the Crown Act is essentially creating a respectful world for anyone with natural hair. The statute that we utilize really focuses on workplace discrimination and protections. But as we do go back to refile that in the next session, we will make sure that it is broad enough to include the schools. And as you already know, on the national level, they're listening. So I thank Nicole for putting herself out there and sharing her story, because if she doesn't, these policies will never change, because unfortunately, it's easier to change a policy than it is to change the law, because of the current composition of our General Assembly in Raleigh.
Really, the momentum starts from the ground up. And, you can work in the state and you can work across state level, but also building that momentum in the process means attacking those school districts and those local jurisdictions. Over the past couple of years, I have developed a passion for advocacy in general. And that really came to a head when I founded a community organization, Queens for Change. And it really served to uplift Black girls in my area. So I spoke at a CMS school board meeting. And even from then, Superintendent Ernest Swenson was just very supportive of the movement. He has 2 Black daughters that are in CMS, and he just understood the gravity of protecting natural hair. So he was able to really facilitate all of that and allowed me to get in contact with some officials in the school district that were also supportive. So from there, basically the verbiage that is going to be used is protecting natural hairstyles from discrimination on a person-to-person level. So, going forward, of course, the work isn't done. I want to make sure that employees are also covered from any natural hair discrimination, and also that school district wide disciplinary actions can't be used. In implementing the Crown Act, you have a policy that says that natural hair is on the same level and it's just as professional as any other hairstyle.
Black girls, if we understand how to take care of our hair and learn what it is and what it means to us, learn the history behind afro, learn the history behind braids, and everything about us that's starting at our roots, well, actual roots, that it'll make us more confident, because those things make us strong. They represent power, they represent hierarchies, they represent all kinds of stuff.
So Nicole has always been that exception, and I'm very proud of her for standing up. Because we're never going to fix the issues if you're still hiding behind your history and afraid for your kids to know your true history. How can we evolve?